Gavin Rossdale, welcome back to noise11.com. Fourth chapter in our mini-series over the last 5 years, Gavin. So, we'll find out some more today.
I really love being this consistent. Finally.
We're getting quite a collection of interviews together. You've got quite the collection of albums now that we put this one in there. Even when we include Institute's Distort Yourself, the solo album Wonderlust, that's quite a little record collection. A bit like this. Not as many as this, but getting there.
Right. Not as many. Yeah, 12. That's 12 records. And I deeply regret doing either of those projects and not sharing them under the Bush moniker because, well, I know that what happened with Institute, it worked out right, but I'd love to still reference those songs. So that was a deep inspiration for keeping the music super heavy, super detuned, and just exciting, and taking the best of what's happening right now in the world, metalcore, and that exciting style of music, and then just sort of parking my vocals in there.
Well, I Beat Loneliness is a telling title unto itself. Does it reflect your personal journey?
Yes, I think it does. I really wanted to make something that was the most authentic record possible. And I thought the most authentic I can be is to be the most deepest, honest, open version of myself. And if we have any role in this life of music, I thought it was really there to help people because that had been the common thread when I meet people. The common thread has always been this band's really been with me through thick and thin. Greatest compliment you can give a songwriter that in the real world, it's not just about being on radio or having awards. It's someone out in the world who was having a terrible day, puts on your music, and somehow feels better. That is that's the real deal. That's when that's success. That is success. So I really reflected on that, weirdly enough. And I wanted because I wanted to make this record. I thought if you're going to make a record, make sure it's like really good and really connects with people. And I just took this deep dive into myself and did some exploration and some admissions, some confessions, some openness. And I just desperate. I'm not desperate, but I really want people to not feel like they're alone when they're going through the worst of times because people go through the worst of times but tend to talk about only the good times because no one wants to be annoying. And so we traditionally hide the suffering and it's just easier just to sort of compartmentalize, but in its own way it's harmful to just I believe in a really people living their life to the full, having a good time, getting the best out of life, good to each other, good to yourselves, and life is just much more enjoyable. It's really basic. I became basic.
Well, you've written from the heart many times over the years. All Things Must Change, Heavy as the Ocean, Detonator, just a few examples
Yeah.
of songs that you've had, which are basically therapy through song. Was there a song on I Beat Loneliness that when you finished it, you even surprised yourself where it all came from?
Yeah, everyone is broken. It was a response to somebody and something, and it opened me up, and it was an incredible feeling because it was such a natural song, and it really was really authentic. And when it's so weird about songwriting, I think about it all the time because I talk about it. Of like, what is a song? Where's that song come from? People are like, oh, it's from the universe coming through me, and you're just thinking of these lines. You're thinking of the world. Like I put myself in this feeling, and it makes me think. It puts me in that world. So phrases come out, and so it's very personal to start. I don't think it's just strange. All these feelings still remain with ghost dancers, and I find that with exes, with people in your life that they can infiltrate your life. They can infiltrate your happiness. They can make you feel free. You're happy, happy you're free from them. But you can think about people. It's confusing sometimes. And when I got the "Everyone Is Broken" line came to me, I was like, oh my God, that's like It's just like, yeah, that's a way to understand people. And then, then when it has the kids have all spoken, we're swimming in an ocean. I try to stay open. Everyone is broken. That I was like, oh, it demanded itself to be a universal, to have in a song that's universally minded. I didn't intend to make a universal record, but because I went to these places, I think I found other people, if you know what I mean.
Mm. Everything is broken. Sorry for my madness. It's almost apologetic. You
Yeah, because I
actually
think
make the
everybody,
statement, then apologize for it.
well, because I think everybody is mad. This is Alain de Botton. He's an English psychotherapist, psychoanalyst, amazing as a school of life thing. And he's been incredibly inspiring to read him and learn from him. And he talks about how everyone is mad. We are all mad, like we hide our madnesses because we have decorum, we're civil, but we all have these triggers that are due to kind of tricky childhoods. Um, and I just believe that everyone has suffered and everyone hides things and makes out that everything's all right. And there's a whole inner world that people don't discuss enough. And that's why there's the suicide rates as they are, they're the worst they've ever been, even in this modern world. People, divorce rates or people breaking up, the speed of a dating life that leaves people kind of somewhat feeling empty and like life is elusive. People watching Instagram and kind of going, my life will never be that good. When the person filming the Instagram is probably having a equally as terrible time, just like manages to hide it better than you. Uh, so I've found that the most value this band can have is to address those things and write about them simply so people hear those songs and just feel like somebody understands them, feels like somebody is in the same position. Because the important thing is that you got to make it out of the quicksand. You make it out of the quicksand, and a lot of people don't, and that's to me that's just. I mean, can you imagine, taking your own life? So that's why we actually in the artwork we have one. There's numbers to call worldwide helpline. Any country in the world, you can type it in and it will tell you wherever you are, helpline for someone to talk to. And then there's a We Connect, which is a substance abuse program that will always help you wherever you are in North America. So trying to like do something with it, do something with the music. And, I'm more worried about what I'm going to do next because it feels so prescient and of the right time that it it terrifies me. I've got to think of something to make another comment in a few years. In 2 years, I'm already thinking like, shit, that's like so worthy. Everything else is so flippant. What am I going to talk about now? Like my,
Yeah.
am I happy?
You've almost had a trilogy of albums that I can see from 1999. The Science of Things really addressed emotional disconnection. Art of Survival was emotional resistance. Now we have I Beat Loneliness. We could probably put The Kingdom in there as well. Righteous Anger, spiritual disillusionment.
No.
Themes for an album aren't something new for you.
Well, because what tends to happen is I just sort of things bother me, and then I'm basically writing the same song in a different tempo, probably. It's in my mindset. Like I didn't. So that's what happens. Just different at that time with the Black Lives Matter, with the Charlottesville. It began with Charlottesville riot, and they had the protester was killed. Um, and it just kick-started it all off, and then we'd come through the kind of the flowers on a grave, and that kind of began to feel like COVID, the loneliness, the kind of isolation. So yeah, I love it. Like in a weird way, I love to make music that feels of the time. When I was first beginning, I felt insecure and like invalidated by the judgment that was you have to write songs of a time and a place. And I was writing songs in London that meant to sound American. And where was I from? There was a lot of early criticism. And as a writer, it kind of like it threw me because I realized that they had a point because I writing of a time and was I writing of a place? And I realized I wasn't. I realized I was writing like I was Allen Ginsberg. I realized I was writing as in a in a time capsule, and but in an emotional with emotional greenhouses, like everything was about how I felt. Everything was about feelings and people. Bomb was about a person getting blown up. It was about the IRA, the Protestants, but it was about the effect on people. This guy goes shopping, wanted to buy these shiny red things, but he gets blown up there. So I was trying to be mindful of what was around me. Glycerine was just like all the kind of tortured love I had, and if I'd gotten it right, and I wrote the song, the guitar. The song is about a girl who gave me the guitar. I wrote it on. I found it the other day in London. I have this guitar. It was so fun. I showed the boys that. I said, "That's the song I wrote Glycerine on," and it's a lovely ovation. So yeah, and that was just an amalgamation of all the most painful things that girls had done to me. It was like, and I'd suffered so much because I loved so hard, and it was a wild time, and just people broke everyone's hearts. That was what everyone did. It was brutal. It was like you loved hard, and then you got broken hard, and um, love hurts, right?
Yeah, well, I guess with the title track, for instance, I Beat Loneliness, the album centerpiece, our hero is facing down the emptiness. He emerges stronger. There's an emotional victory at the end of this one. So, like, if we look at the trilogy, this comes to a conclusion.
Thank you. I would like to travel with you so you can tell people of this record. I love your characterization of it. Yeah, I mean, it's as I say, it's wild because I'm really obsessed by melancholic music in order so that I can have a great time. I need to compartmentalize it. And so it's like I'm so interested in life being great that I sing about things that bother me so that I can like purge them. I was talking to Will I Am and I was like, I don't know how to write party music. I'm just no good. If somebody a good time song, like I really want to figure. It's elusive to me how to write a good time song because a good time songs are it's really valuable to people, but I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do, I've done story songs when I first began, like Springsteen does a story song, John Cougar Mellencamp, there's story songs. Tom Waits, who I love, incredible. But when I did it, it just sounds so bad, like so fake and like a school experiment. Like it's like, what are you doing? Just don't even. I wrote one song when I was first starting out. It's called Johnny and Mary. And I was dating this girl who actually Wendy Transition Vamp. She really liked that song. She's so sweet. But it was just not right. And there was no future in it. Like how what was it was like a bad John Cougar Mellencamp song. So bad. I was just starting out. And I realized that that genre was not for me.
Well, obviously, you've got the tour coming up. It's impossible to play every song live. The Land of Milk and Honey and I Beat Loneliness were played at a showcase a couple of days ago. How will you handle the songs from this album for the set list? Will you expand on just those two?
You know, this I'm wrestling with this dilemma now. Like, yeah, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and you tell me if I'm wrong. And I honestly will listen to you because you really are very respectful and respectfully knowledgeable about everything. So here's my dilemma. What I want to do, I'm going to send the sets in tonight. I want to really do all the lot of new songs, not to the point where so we do like Scars into Machine Head, then Land of Milk and Honey, then Zen. So you put smatterings in there, you don't lose people, but no, I want to play 5 or 6 songs off the new record because I want to be loud and proud, and I don't want to be nostalgic. And when I play, I'm only playing. Um, yeah, I'm no, I'm obviously when I by the time I come to Australia we will just give a healthy smattering of the record and make it about the new record. That doesn't mean to say that, of course, in an hour 45 show, you cover the bases so that people don't lose their minds. But I think it's more interesting to be Bush 4.42.0 than I went on this show the other day, right? It's called Setlist FM, and they have all, not all, but they get set lists given by the fans, and they compile your things and your songs you've played, how many times you've played each song, where you've played them. It's mind blowing. And the only thing I can tell you is that it just proved to me that my memory is literally fucked. Things I thought that I was completely, well, because it's a common knowledge that you remake your memories. Your memories are not static, and you remake them. And for example, English Fire, I love that song, and I played it I thought I only played it once. My manager said to me, do yourself a favor, don't play that song. And yet I loved it. And it's really do da da do da da do da da do da da do da da. It's very progressive. And it goes so well in the set now. Like I would write that music now. It was like do that. It was very aggressive. And that was when I was still in standard tuning. So to find something that is really almost fake detuned sounding on a standard tuning. Um, and when I looked at the stats, I played that song 13 times. So when I was really confident, I would have put money on it. I would have put a lot of things on it. And so it was not malice. It wasn't a boast. It was actually an underboast. But it just went to show me that like I got to be careful. I think it's somewhat all an illusion.
Yeah, I think for a set list, an ideal set list for me from you in 2025 would be to come out, make a statement that I've got a new album, play the title track, come out with a couple of bangers to remind the old fans who are in there that only listen to classic hits radio that
Yeah,
this is the guy you bought the ticket for, and then like maybe every
yeah,
third song, plant one of the new ones.
yeah. It. That's it. Exactly it. Just to be proud of it. And I don't want to be. I understand. I've always thought of set lists based on someone's enjoyment, based on someone. If I loved this band, what would I want to see? And it's a delicate dance with. I think they've one set list this time. We've had 46 singles. 46.
You
It's
could do the
like
singles show and then come back the next night and do the B-sides.
it's just madness. 46, you can't do 46. You can do maximum. If I do if we do 18 songs, the band are like, oh, fuck's sake. You know, 16, 17 is the sweet spot. So 46 singles was like
Well,
I was like, what? There's because every record there's 10, every song is three singles. So let's say there's 30. And then you have the 17 movie songs, tracks, miscellaneous things, solo tracks, you know. Anyway,
you
whatever.
could do as the
Life.
Cure. You could announce that you're doing 2 or 3 shows per city with a different set list every night.
Yeah, but my guitar player, Chris Trainer, it's like
It's
he's
been
a
with you
very
for a long time.
sensitive, good man, and he we're I don't think he needs he we go at the pace of we will play 6 songs from the record the next year, a bunch more, but I don't want to freak him out. He's just singularly always worried about that stuff. So
Fair enough.
when he
Fair enough.
listens to this interview, I don't want him to be. I don't want to take it that we're gonna like. He'd be like, "Oh my God, there's just so many songs, there's so many details, so much programming. It's just it's intense." Back in the day, of course, if you just had like a guitar and you'd just be like play any song like that. But nowadays, it's like every song has this kind of specific scene. You got to make it cool and get all the sounds right. It's like the audience is has high standards.
Mm. Let me
Oh
let
dear,
me ask
man.
you one final question because I know we've got to go. Next time Tom Jones comes around for dinner at your place, can I come too?
For sure.
It's a deal.
All right.
Great to
Okay.
see you
Thank you
again,
so much.
Gavin.
Yeah.
And hopefully some news of an Australian tour in the not too distant future.
Well, if we do it, if we no, they're working on it. They're trying to get they're trying to figure out what bands? Who are your favorite Australian bands that
Oh,
would you think would fit with us?
I'd love to see
Fit
you
with
with
us,
bands like The Living
like
End.
Living
Um,
End.
I mean, maybe it's a bit close to the bone, but would you tour with Baby Animals?
I would love to tour with them. Are they playing?
Yeah, they sure are. Quite
Really?
active in 2025.
Painless. What a song. Remember that?
Excellent song, yes.
Painless.
Yeah.
What a singer.
And Sue
She's
still has it.
great. I used to say to her, your voice is incredible. Your voice is amazing. She's got such a great voice. Such a great voice.
Yeah.
I was always like in awe of her voice. I used to listen to her sing a lot back in the day when I went to baby animal shows, and they were just incredible band. Loved them so much, and her voice. Oh my God! I'd say to her afterwards, I'd be like, I just, I don't think I could really sing much at all then very well, and her voice was so good. So I'm happy to hear that it's like firing all cylinders.
Yeah. Well, you've got a few options there. So fingers crossed.
Great, great.
Okay. Good to
All right,
see you.
mate. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gavin.
Cheers.
Bye bye.